Back in the bad old days when Cadillac was going nowhere fast, it needed something to motivate the brand. Along came something called the art and science design language. The first car to get that new language was the Cadillac CTS. On this edition of Test Drive, the latest version of the car that kick-started the resurgence of the brand. The addition of the CTS-V, which now comes with an awesome 556 horsepower, underscored just how serious the once proud marque was about regaining its self-respect. Enter the CTS Sport Wagon. As with its siblings, the wagon is all about its hard-edged attitude. But my, what a looker. The Gawk meter was off the scale even when it was parked beside Acura's fetching ZDX crossover. If you want versatility, this car has got more than its fair share. To begin with, it does come with a privacy cover. It also comes with 26 cubic feet of cargo space with the seats in the upright position, 58 cubic feet with them folded flat. But then you get the attention to detail. First of all, you can partition the load floor that simply. Now you put your groceries here, they don't end up at the other end of the car every time you touch the brakes. Now if you carry a large item, you've got this adjustable rack system that allows you to tie it down and lash your cargo properly. And finally, well, you'll see this net. Now this thing prevents anything that's back here from joining you up front in the event that you have to slam on the brakes. Now that anything could include a dog. The last thing you want is him joining you in the front seat. I mean, it all comes together exceptionally well. The good news is that the CTS Sport Wagon has the mechanical wherewithal to back up its good looks. With GM's up-level 3.6-litre V6 under the hood, it puts a healthy 304 horsepower and 273 pound-feet of torque at the driver's right loafer. Yes, it's motivating a rather portly 1851 kilograms, but that does not blunt its enthusiasm in the least. The use of a 6-speed manumatic certainly helps matters, as the engine is only a snappy kickdown away from the meat of its power curve. The disappointment is that the manual side only works when the shifter is actually in the manual position, and so it's a royal pain to get to the needed engine braking when it's wanted. They say time's a great healer. Well, in this case, time has healed GM's interior woes. At one time, the General's interiors were woefully dreadful. Now, this CTS is delightful and as good as anything on the market. You can also buy as little of this car, around $53,000, or as much as you want. In this case, you add $8,700 to this car and you end up with everything from active headlights to a 40 gigabyte hard drive, complete with a navigation system and a backup camera. There are, however, two pet peeves. First of all, and this is bearing in mind this is a sports wagon. A good sports wagon, it gets paddle shifters on the steering wheel. This one doesn't. It also gets decent seats. Now, while these things are comfortable, they lack lateral support. From here, the power reaches the road through a good all-wheel drive system. It brings better balance to the drive and limits unwanted wheel spin when the driver mats the gas from a standstill. What does surface is quickly dealt with by GM's advanced StabiliTrak electronic stability control system. The combined benefits of the powertrain transform the CTS Sports Wagon into an enviable performer. It scoots to 100k in 7.4 seconds, and it accomplishes the more important 80 to 120k discipline in an equally quick 5 seconds. If you're into technology, this CTS wagon has a ton of it. Everything from active headlights. Now they swivel as you turn the steering wheel, which brightens up the road at night. The other thing it's got, one little tiny button on the nav system, it's marked traffic. Now when you touch it, it shows you all of the problem areas in any given location. In this case, a blocked on-ramp. Now at the moment, this system only works in Vancouver, Montreal and Greater Toronto. However, as with all good technology, it will eventually trickle down to a town near you. As for the handling characteristics, well, they match the rest of the wagon. When flogged through the pylons, the wagon and its sports suspension put on a stellar display. Body roll is limited to a couple of degrees, understeer is far enough out it is fairly described as benign, and the response to steering input is first rate. The anti-lock brakes are also strong, bringing 41.7 metres from 100k. Sometimes you just have to ask yourself why. Why would anybody buy an SUV when they could buy this Cadillac CTS Sport Wagon? It does everything an SUV can in terms of its capacity and utility. It also comes with a very good all-wheel drive system, but it also has one other intangible that most SUVs, well, they can't even begin to aspire to. This thing is surprisingly sporty.
If you consider Motoring TV's been on the air for 30 plus years, there's no doubt you've missed a few episodes. Well, there's a couple of ways you can catch up and make sure you don't miss anything. First, you can go to YouTube and look up just segments or complete shows. Also, if you want to know what we're doing, like today on a daily basis, just go to our Facebook page. And also, you can go to motoringtvshop.com, get some cool swag. Oh, there's also that Instagram.